Before I begin with my reflection, I just wanted to say thank you all. I have learned so much through our discussions in class and our issue briefs. I know more of what to expect when I do eventually have my own classroom. I have an idea about the politics that go on at the school. I've also really enjoyed listening to your stories about your kids and your students. So, again, I just wanted to say thank you for everything. I thought it was crazy to see how much easier it was when researching at the end of the semester than when we first began. I remember the first couple of online presentations that we gave. It took me a couple hours to find an article that I really liked and that would fit the description that we needed to for our online presentation. And by the end of the semester, I knew what I needed to look for. I never knew that Google Scholar was a thing before this semester, and now I know how great Google Scholar is, and I'm definitely going to be using it again for any type of research needs that I have. And it's also nice to see that what we are saying about different things, there's research out there that proves it. Although some people want to ignore it, there is data that proves what we are saying. And I also learned that technology is not just electronics. I remember us discussing it in class, and Dr. Falkenberry saying that it could be as simple as pencil and paper, and I thought that was really interesting because when I think of technology, I think of iPads, I think of phones, I think of computers, not just pencil and paper. Also, that the textbook is a good resource, but it should not be the sole method for teaching. When we teach, we need to have students be engaged in active learning. And I'm actually doing my position paper on cooperative learning because I think it's really important that students um, take an active role in their learning. It gives them a little bit more responsibility because rote memorization is not ideal. I know that when I had to memorize things, I knew it, I learned it long enough, or I memorized it long enough to take the test, and then honestly, I couldn't tell you a week later what I learned because I had forgotten it. I also learned that equity is going to take some deep thought because a lot of times we don't know we're doing it, whether that being calling on just boys or calling on more boys than girls because boys are supposed to be better at math than girls. I also learned that professional development is key, and with everything that we talked about in our discussions, all the research that we showed or looked at, it showed that good professional development is really needed. Um, just to have those resources to help us in our classroom is very important. I also learned that we have to be willing to change because times are changing, and we have to reflect on our teaching because that is the only way that we're going to know if we are doing what's best for our kids. Um, and although I'm not in the classroom yet, these things still apply to me as a coach because I know that players are going to need to know plays, and there are several ways that we can do this. We can walk them through plays. We can have them drawn up so that our players can study them. They can also walk through them with their peers, and their teammates can teach them. So that's kind of how we can differentiate our teaching methods or our coaching methods to help our players. And also, some players may react better when you yell at them, and some of them you just have to ask them. We all know that our students are different, and just knowing your players or your students can make them more successful because you know what they need to work on, you know them. And so I really enjoyed being in this class with everybody. I've learned so much, and I know that when I do have my own classroom that I'll be able to implement these things and try to be the best teacher I could be. Thank y'all for everything. Bye.